What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WrestleRant Ranks. Graham, GS, and Matthews here, where every single Monday I do tier list and rankings on the show. And ahead of Evolution coming up this Saturday, the second ever installment of that event, we're going to be breaking down and ranking every WWE Divas champion in history. Now, on tierlistmaker.com, there's a whole bunch of WWE women's wrestling lists and divas lists and stuff like that. A lot of which are like ranking, the hottest divas and stuff like that. Smash or pass, like some stupid lists. And there's other lists that just have a lot of entries and, things to choose from that would just take way too long to rank here, or at least here today for this episode. So I thought we would keep it simple, and I found one that was ranking every WWE Divas champion in the history of that title from '08 through 2015. So there's enough here to kind of go off of where this won't be a super short video, but it also won't be like a super extensive one either, where I can talk about each reign from what I can recall, and I remember all of these reigns. From when they happened, from '08 through 2015 or 2016 when it was retired at WrestleMania 32. But thank you to @RUYeti on Twitter for putting this together back in 2020 on tierlistmaker.com. If you want to complete it for yourself, you could do so in the description box. I'll include it there. At the very least, if you want to like this video and subscribe, all support is greatly appreciated. And if you want more information on how you can support the channel at the WrestleRant All Access Pass channel membership level, you could do so by checking that out also in the description box down below. So let's get right into it here. These are a bit out of order. These aren't completely in chronological order. I saw a few that were like later, like the Nikki Bella one was one of the last ones, but it's there in the middle. So I'll try to do my best in remembering each of these reigns, starting with the inaugural WWE Divas Champion, Michelle McCool. And this was at a time, like she's in the WWE Hall of Fame now, but this was at a time where she really wasn't doing much in WWE. She had been a manager prior to that point from like '06 and '07. SmackDown didn't have a women's championship of its own until 2008 when Raw kept the women's title and SmackDown, they instituted the Divas title, which was cool. It's not like the division was on fire or anything like that, but Michelle McCool was a great first champion. She actually beat Natalya Neidhart, I think is what they called her at the time. I say Neidhart because that's what her name was at that point, but obviously now we just know her as Natalya. She beat her at the Great American Bash to win the inaugural Divas Championship, and she wanted to have a decent reign. I remember she beat Maurice a couple of times. She ended up losing it to Maurice, I think. Mickie James is pictured here, but I think Maurice was the second champion, so I'll get to her in a moment. But I don't see Maurice twice. I think Maurice held it twice, but I only see her on here once. Maybe she only held it once. I don't remember. But either way, Michelle McCool was a very good first champion. I might move her up to Bad Bitch Supreme, but for now, she was a Divalicious first Divas champion. So I thought she had a couple good defenses. She held on to it for like 5 months, had a good establishing run as champion. That kind of helped put her on the map and escalate her run. And she also turned heel going into 2009 as well, if not at the end of this run. So she was a babyface for a while, found her footing as a heel, and it was all because of this run as Divas champion. Mickie James, I don't really remember much about her run. I want to say she was champion in like the middle of 2009. I think Maurice got the belt from Michelle, and she was champion for a bit from late 2008 or the early beginning months of 2009, and then lost it to Mickie James in the summer. I do not remember much else about her run, though, beyond that. I'll put it at the cute level, I guess. I really don't remember about much of what she did as Divas champion. I remember she retained against Gail Kim a time or two. I remember that. I'll probably put deserved better because I really liked Maurice, and I'm glad she got a title run, but I don't really remember much about the run itself. Mickie James had a decent run. I remember her defending the championship a handful of times on Raw. She was only champion for a few months in the middle months of 2009. I wish these were more chronological because there just really isn't a whole lot to go off of here. But Mickie James had a decent run. Jillian Hall was garbage. I remember she won the belt, I think, from Mickie James, and then immediately lost it to the returning Melina, I want to say, back in October of '09. So Jillian Hall held it for all of like minutes. All of only a few minutes, so we'll put that in the trash category. I think that's Alicia Fox there. She won the championship in 2010, only for like a month, though. I think she won it at Fatal 4-Way, which would have been in June. I feel like she only held it for like a month or two. I think she won it in June, retained it in July, and then lost it at SummerSlam. So I'll probably put it at the deserved better category. I never really thought Alicia Fox was great, but she did win the title and make history as the first ever black women's champion, for Divas champion, not black women's champion. That's not true, but black Divas champion in WWE history. So she is, she does have that to her credit. The matches really weren't all that great, but, she was still finding her footing at that point. Nikki Bella was a bit of a later run. When she held the championship, she had beaten AJ Lee for it and then held it for like a year. I think she still is on record as being the longest reigning Divas champion, beating AJ Lee's record from 2013 through 2014. Nikki Bella's was good. She's definitely not top tier. I just remember her winning it from AJ, beating AJ to retain it, and then only ever really having feuds with Naomi and Paige in 2015. They did not do, and it wasn't really her fault, but WWE did not do fuck all with that championship for most of 2015. And the reign also became an afterthought in light of like the women's evolution, the whole Divas Revolution thing that summer, so she didn't really defend the championship a whole bunch. I'll probably put it in Divalicious. It might actually be better. She did hold it for a long time, so I'll put it in Divalicious, but below Michelle McCool, who I thought had a better run. Melina, I think, also held it twice, if I'm not mistaken. So let me think. Melina would have won it in late 2009, and then I think that's what it was. I think Melina won it in late 2009, and then she got hurt. So I don't really remember much about her run whatsoever. So let's put her at the deserved better category as well, because she only held it for a month, but then she had to kind of give it up due to being hurt, if I'm not mistaken. Lay Cool champions, when were they like the Unified Divas champions? I think that would have been, late 2010? That's a memorable run because they were like the top of the division at that point. I'll probably put that at Divalicious. Below Nikki, because they weren't champions for that long. They ended up losing it to Natalya at Survivor Series in 2010. Natalya definitely deserved better. She's top of deserved better because I remember she won it, and then she only had like maybe one or two different title defenses, and then she lost it in January to, I think, Eve, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, I wish these were chronological because honestly, I don't remember I remember the runs, but like just in the time frame in which they happened is difficult to remember. I remember Brie Bella won it from Eve, I guess. Eve would probably have been... Eve is just pictured once here, I think, because that's Alicia Fox. I guess this is just going off of all of the reigns and not just one. So, because Eve held it, I remember, 3 times. Eve was a really good Divas champion because she held it so many times and she was a great heel. I'll probably put her below Nikki Bella. Brie Bella's reign was garbage. She also only held it for only a few days. Jillian was worse, so I'll probably put her above Jillian. She only held it for 6 days before she lost it. Actually, that's not true. I'm trying to remember. I think Brie won it, and then she immediately lost it. She had 2 runs, I think. I think she won it from Beth Phoenix in 2012, and then she lost it to Layla that weekend. Then I think she also held it in 2011. She took the title from Eve, I want to say, and then lost it to Kelly Kelly. Kelly Kelly actually had a very good run as well. I'll probably put Michelle McCool in Bad Bitch Supreme. Kelly Kelly actually got better during her run. She didn't hold it for all that long. She ended up losing it within, I think actually 5 months. So she was champion for a bit. I'll probably put her above Nikki Bella, actually. She had a pretty good run. And I remember her getting a lot better and having a lot of good matches during that time period. So I'll put her there. Beth Phoenix, she won it from Kelly Kelly in 2011. She lost it to Brie Bella. So I guess she'll go in the cute category. But again, she didn't really do much as Divas champion. Not as much as I thought or I hoped she would. And then she retired. I think she lost it and then she retired a few months later. So I'll put her in the quote-unquote cute category. Layla just did not do much at all as Divas champion, unfortunately. She won it in the spring of 2012. WWE had no fucking division at that point, practically, so she barely defended that championship. And then she lost it in September to Eve, I think. That's when Eve won it for the 3rd time, I think. Eve was a really good champion. Caitlyn was decent. She was champion from January to June. Didn't do a whole lot, but it was at least a little bit that she held it for. And then she lost it to AJ in that great match. AJ still, to me, is the best Divas champion they had. Charlotte is a close second because she was champion for a long time as well. She's probably even better than AJ, but AJ really helped put that belt on the map at a time where no one really cared about it. And she's like synonymous with that butterfly belt. Charlotte's very close. Charlotte had a lot of good runs, a lot of good matches during that period with Brie Bella, Paige, Nikki Bella, Becky. So Charlotte honestly might be number one, but AJ's just more synonymous with the belt as far as the promos go and stuff like that. I'll probably put her at number one. And then Paige, she had a decent run, but it wasn't great. So I'll put that in Q. I'll put it above Beth's. When she won the championship the night after Mania, it was amazing. But they didn't really do much with her before she had to lose it to AJ in June. And then she got it back from AJ for like a month. So she also deserved better, but we have a lot of deserved betters. So I'll just leave her in the cute category as far as like a decent reign that could have been better. I love the category names, by the way. So this is my definitive ranking, I guess, of WWE's Divas Champions, counting all their reigns. I thought it was going off of individual runs, but it's actually counting all of their runs collectively. Jillian Hall's dead last in the trash category, then Brie Bella, unless Brie Bella also won it in 2011. But none of those runs were great, so she's probably in the trash category. Melina and deserved better at the very bottom. And then Alicia Fox, Maurice, Layla, Natalia. Then the cute category, Caitlyn, Mickie James, Beth Phoenix, and Paige. Divalicious is Lay Cool, Eve, Nikki Bella, Kelly Kelly, and then Bad Bitch Supreme, in my opinion, the top three best Divas champions they ever had. Nikki Bella, I could see people making that case, but she held it for almost a year. But the problem is her reign just, I remember, wasn't very interesting, and she was having a lot of the same matches. So that's why I'm not really putting her in Bad Bitch Supreme. She had a good enough run, but I thought Kelly Kelly's run, honestly, even though it was a lot shorter, was a lot better because she was having some really good matches with Beth Phoenix during that time. Bad Bitch Supreme, in my opinion. Michelle McCool, her first run from 2008, then Charlotte Flair, and then AJ Lee. I mean, I guess you could take Michelle McCool off, and then, I don't know, I just really feel like it helped Michelle McCool and helped establish the championship as something worth fighting for to a certain extent before it kind of became an afterthought for most of 2009. But I don't know. That's probably how I would rank it. Give me your thoughts. Was I right? Was I wrong? Was I way off? Fill out the list for yourself at tierlistmaker.com. I'll include the link down below in the description box. This was Best WWE Divas Champion Tier List Maker from @RUYeti on Twitter. Thank you to them again. I appreciate it. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more daily content and more information down below in the information box, more information rather, in the description box on how to become a $5 WrestleRant All Access Pass channel membership subscriber today down below. Some more information on that. Thank you guys for checking out this video. Enjoy Evolution coming up this weekend. I'm Graham G. Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.